those rights were protected by different international laws, that the people have the right to choose those that will govern them. That was exactly what Biafrans did in Finland. The people have a choice to decolonize themselves from those that are killing them.
Alright, so Ibom lose the month, so depending on your time zone and your location. That's about the 22nd day of February 2026, broke Sunday. So yesterday when live broadcast the USB government team under the leadership of Dr. Ngozi Orabueze'S, where she addressed Biafrans on so many issues and topics. So I want you guys to watch the video, go on her speech, what she said during that broadcast. So but before I play you guys the broadcast, do not forget our Bonanza promo is still on. A whole lot of people have been getting slots. There's just few more slots remaining, and then I did the advert. Open a business or a platform you want an advert for. You have a business, that thing you're doing for a living. Each of I place again our handles as adverts. Chat this WhatsApp number in for now. Remember, it is not for free, like I used to say, for the token, just a small token. And it's a business again online, near visibility can reach out to you. You know, the word is on the internet space right now, so it is good that you put up that your business on the media so that people across the world can actually reach out to you and patronize you. So, and that is why we are opening this few slots, just 10 persons, or for not just, I think 3 or 4 persons now will begin the advert. So abone manika interested, the time and the slots are still open. Chat this WhatsApp number, and then you send the other videos or pictures of what you do for a living, and we may advert for you in our video. So let's go into the video. Can you refer Dr. Ngozi Orabueze'S during her broadcast and everything she said and addressed to Biafrans in that speech? So watch the video and make sure you are sharing candles up with Surai with you. Enjoy the rest of the videos. I will be right back. Thank you.
Again, I welcome Biafrans today for this fundraising today. The essence of the United States of Biafra government fundraising is to ensure we raise the funds we need to rebuild our new nation. Our new nation was declared in Latin Finland on November 29, 2024, after over 50 million Biafrans voted both online and physically at home for the self-referendum to exit Nigeria. That culminated into the declaration we had in Finland on November 29, 2024, when over 1,500 Biafrans from all over the world, from home and abroad, gathered in Latin Finland to redeclare the Republic of Biafra, which was a nation between 1967 and 1970, under the name and title of the United States of Biafra. And over 500 Biafrans appended their signature to this declaration to exit Nigeria. No one, no country, no individual, no group can tamper with this declaration because it is a wish of the people. That was what the people wanted. It was the will of the people. Those rights were protected by different international laws, that the people have the right to choose those that will govern them. That was exactly what Biafrans did in Finland. The people have a choice to decolonize themselves from those that are killing them. That is exactly what Biafrans are doing by the day, by the second, by the minute. It is the right of Biafrans to stop the mass murder, the massacre, the killing of indigenous Biafrans by the terrorist state of Nigeria. Everyone listening to me knows that Nigeria has been declared as the most dangerous country in the world for Christians to live. Biafrans are Christians with 3 official religions: Christianity, Judaism, and traditional. It is in our constitution. Thank you so much, Honorable Christopher, for bringing that portion of our constitution acceptance by the Biafra people when we were in Latin Finland. And I was waiting to also see the HM acceptance by Biafran people, but I know maybe it's in another recording. The Nigerian state has been declared as a country of particular concern. What does that mean? This is a lawless country. This is a country where the leaders pick people, lock them up on end without trial for not committing any crime. This is a country where the leaders pick people who oppose their rule, throw them into the DSS dungeons, into the military barracks, into the police barracks, into different jails across Nigeria and in Biafra territory, lock them up deny their family members, their mothers, their wives, their children, access to their breadwinners. This is a country where the leaders pick people up, forcefully remove innocent Biafrans and lock them up in the Nigerian DSS dungeons, in the Nigerian military barracks. That is what Nigeria President Tinubu, Christopher Musa, the delegitimized governors like Charles Saludo, Peter Mba, Oti, Uzadima, that is what they are doing on a constant basis. They attack our innocent Biafrans that are peacefully living in their homes, in their quiet communities. Some of them have decided to relax in the bushes in Biafra land. The bushes behind their homes, it belongs to us. It belongs to Biafrans. It belongs to the citizens of Biafrans. They have a right to stay, to sleep, to abide wherever they seemed, wherever they choose to stay. It is our community. It is our right. Many Biafrans, they choose to relax in the bushes, in the forest, because it's cooling, it's natural. They have a right to go there. They have a right to stay there. They have a right to sleep there. It is their community. It is their land. No one has any right to disturb them there. But what Tinubu, the Nigerian state, the delegitimized governors, the criminal reintegrated terrorists brought in by the Nigerian government, what they do is to go to the bushes and disturb innocent Biafrans that are peacefully relaxing in the bushes. It is their right to stay wherever they want. It is the right of the Biafran people to live wherever, as long as it's in the 40 states of Biafra. Few days ago, we saw the Nigeria terrorist state headed by Tinubu send armored tanks to the peaceful community of Biafra territory to bomb, to kill, to forcefully remove Biafrans from their environments. We saw them like a war zone. Biafrans are at a war zone with the Nigerian state. But we are not going to go that part of Tinubu and Christopher Musa, Charles Saludo, Oti, Mba, or Ebonyi State Governor. We are not going to go to that part which you seek. That part where you invade quiet communities of Biafra land with machine guns, with fighter jets and bullets flying everywhere. We are not going to go there. But we will protect the 40 states of Biafra in the way and manner that is okay for us to do that. We will protect our communities in the way and manner that suits us. It is not going to be your own way. That intimidation being carried out every day by the Nigerian state, by Christopher Musa, by the delegitimized governors, this intimidation they carry out in the 40 states of Biafra every day, we will protect our people. I want to use this opportunity to let the world know. The United States of Biafra was declared on November 29, 2024 in Ladi, Finland. We have 40 states in Biafra land. We have 40 state governors with the commissioners that are currently actively working day and night to secure their people from the reintegrated terrorists brought into our land by the Nigerian state. Nigeria government has a standing policy to reintegrate and rehabilitate non-terrorists into the country, into Nigeria, ship them down to the Biafra territory in collusion with these delegitimized governors whom Biafran people have rejected. They accept them into Biafra land, buy massive areas, acres of land, where they dump these reintegrated terrorists, pretending to be farmers, to be pretending to be herdsmen. They come in with their cows. They use Dangote trucks to ship thousands of cows and all these mercenaries and reintegrated terrorists into Biafra land. The delegitimized governors and some chiefs in Biafra land collude with the Nigerian state to buy land where they dump these mercenaries, pretending to be herdsmen. These are pure terrorists that were integrated by Tinubu and Christopher Musa and shipped to Biafra territory. In the day, they are herdsmen. At night, they move into Biafran homes, burning the homes, killing the people, raping the women, raping our children, destroying our farmlands. That is why we do not want any Fulani herdsmen in Biafra territory. As I speak, no Fulani herdsmen or their cow is allowed, is accepted in Biafra land, because these are the people that Tinubu and Christopher Musa use with the delegitimized governors to kill our people at night. I have a lot of reports on my table where innocent Biafrans that went to their farms has been murdered by these Fulani herdsmen. We do not want any Fulani herdsmen or their cow in Biafra land. Anywhere they are seen in Biafra land, we will make them move. They must leave the community. Biafrans, you must make them leave that community. I want to also use this opportunity to thank the United States of Biafra cabinet members, as solid as ever, doing the needful day and night to ensure that this beautiful nation that was declared on November 29th in Latin Finland, no one tampers with it. Working day and night. I thank you so much, the USB cabinet members, for what you do. Those that have been relieved of their job because of one thing or the other they do, and they continue in their own way, to be loyal, 100% loyal to the leadership of the United States of Biafra government. And they continue to propagate for the full protection of Biafra land. I'll tell you to keep doing that. But whatever you are doing, it must be under the full direction, order of the United States of Biafra cabinet, headed by my humble self. Any move, one move to deviate from the orders of the United States of Biafra government, you're not going to like what you're going to see. Again, everyone listening to me, if you've not known before, you need to know that the Nigeria state is a failed state. Nigeria commits Christian genocide in different parts of that country. That has been confirmed. The Biafra Christian community does not want to cohabit with reintegrated terrorists. Anyone, any country, any organization in any shape or form that have not gotten this, you must be very, very sick, very sick. Anyone, any organization, any country that tries in any shape or form to tamper with the declaration of the independence of the United States of Biafran people, the 80 million Biafrans, anyone that tries to tamper with that declaration, sorry will be your name. I don't care who you are. The United States of Biafra people must be allowed to build their peaceful nation devoid of reintegrated terrorists, which Nigerian government is planning every day to bring in our land, which our people continue to push them away to resist. It is our right to push them away. Anyone promoting one Nigeria, you are promoting terrorism in that part of the world. And you must stop. You must stop. Any country in the world selling any arms, any equipment, any gun, any bullet to the Nigerian state, you must stop, because all those equipment, they end up in the hand of terrorists. They end up in the hand of the terrorists. Indigenous Nigerians, they don't join the Nigerian military and police anymore. There have been mass resignation. That is why Nigeria continue to reintegrate known terrorists, because they do not have indigenous Nigerians in their military and the police. So what do? They reintegrate these terrorists, rehabilitate them. The Nigerian state, Christopher Musa have shown the world, is on social media, how they reintegrate and rehabilitate known terrorists. They try to sort them out based on those that commit heavy crime and those that do not commit heavy crime. Then some of them are now reintegrated into the Nigerian communities. Christopher Musa said this, the former Nigerian Defense Secretary, and it's on social media. And then what happens? When the terrorists are reintegrated into the peaceful indigenous Nigerian communities, they start attacking the indigenes. So when they start attacking the indigenes, the Nigerian government comes about and supports those terrorists because they have recruited them into the military and the police. That's why they support them. They don't support the indigenes. They support them because they are in the military, in the police, and the security. They recruit them into the Nigerian military and police. So that's why the indigenes keep dying, because the Nigerian government supports the reintegrated terrorists that they have hired into the military and the police. Those are the ones they support. So those arms that are shipped from abroad, all those countries abroad that sell any gun to Nigeria, you know where it's ending up. It's ending up in the hand of the terrorists. That is why the Christian genocide in Nigeria can never stop. The mass murder of Christians, children, women can never stop in Nigeria. The forceful removal of indigenous Biafrans, which has been reported by Amnesty International and so many world bodies, can never stop. The only solution is the outright dissolution of the Nigerian state. And I'm not calling any international body to just come in and dissolve. It doesn't just work that way. But I am calling them to support the United States of Biafra people, the indigenous 80 million Biafrans that have already declared their independence. I'm also calling them to support the indigenous Nigerians, the Oduduwas, the Arawas, that are crying every day, that are dying every day in the hands of these terrorists that are brought into Nigeria by Tinubu, Christopher Musa, people like Charles Soludo, and the politicians. We must support those indigenes. Nigeria must crumble for lives to be saved. Nigeria must be dissolved for people to live. That is why the absolute dissolution of that entity called Nigeria must happen for people to live. So I'm using this opportunity to call all, again, I thank all our international allies that are already working with us towards this purpose. And I'm also calling others that are not fully aware, that have not been informed in the past, to join and support the United States of Biafra. We have our mission heads all over the world. And when they come to your offices, please give them the attention they need to ensure that this job we are doing becomes very, very easy and fast, so that Biafrans scattered all over the world can quickly, safely go back to their homes, to their motherlands, and start rebuilding their communities, start rebuilding this our beautiful nation. I want to thank the 40 state governors and the commissioners for what they do. I want to thank the mission heads and the stakeholders. I also want to thank the envisioned elite squad of the United States of Biafra that are working day and night to ensure that the reintegrated terrorists brought into our community by the Nigerian state, they have no breathing space. We will not give them any breathing space. Anywhere you see them, they must leave the 40 state of Biafra land. I want to use this opportunity to thank our allies, our legal advisors that are guiding us by the second, by the day, and things we are doing. Thank you so much for what you do behind the scene. We truly appreciate them for what they do for us. We thank our lobbyists in different parts of the world doing the needful to ensure that the freedom which we already got is fully protected as quickly as possible. More thanks to the United States of Biafra envisioned elite squad. Thank you all for what you do, for standing your ground. Thank you for working with the United States of Biafra government day and night, putting in your time, your energy, your resources to support this beautiful new nation that we've gotten. Thank you for not listening to people that distract the government. For example, those that said they were calling off the Monday sit at home, which was a genuine referendum on its own. The Monday sit at home is a referendum on its own. It is the power of the people. Everything is not about gun. when we try to confront the Nigerian state with just peaceful march on the street, like innocent Biafrans that march on the streets of Aba, in Hedwig Jonisha, at Impo, Tinubu and the Nigerian state, they sent these reintegrated terrorists with machine guns to kill unalive innocent Biafrans that are just genuinely marching on the streets. They kill them. The Aba march, we saw over 50 innocent young Biafran males that were mowed down by the Nigerian state. They were not carrying guns. They were just marching for the release of our leader, Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. That was all they were doing. And the Nigerian state ordered their military to go and kill many of them. They shot them on close range. It's all on social media. It was captured by the world. They killed them for nothing. Just because they were marching. The same thing happened when the Nigerian state sent the military to go to Mpo, when innocent Biafrans were just marching on the street with no arms. They were just marching for this Biafra that we've gotten, this new nation that we've secured, that they want to have their own nation. Nigeria state murdered over 200 innocent Biafrans were murdered on the streets of Mpo. They did not commit any crime. They were not armed. Tinubu ordered for them with Buhari to kill these people, these Muslims that are committing mass genocide in Nigeria. They ordered for these Christian Biafrans to be murdered. The Hedwig Jonisha, innocent genuine Biafrans, were just there. They were just marching to remember our heroes and heroines day. The Nigerian state ordered the military to go and massacre over 100 innocent young males and females were murdered on close range with guns by the Nigerian state. They didn't commit any crime. At our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu's house, innocent Biafrans just gathered in his house just to be with him, just to be happy in their quiet community. Their leader came by and they just want to be with him. The Nigerian state ordered the Nigerian military to go into that home and murder everything that was in that house. Over 50 innocent Biafrans were murdered in that compound. Dogs were killed by Tinubu and the Nigerian state. They were unarmed. They didn't commit any crime. That was when Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu escaped. He escaped that death. They would have killed him there. And that is what Nigeria state was saying. Nnamdi Kanu escaped. He was granted bail and he fled bail. That is what the criminal states of Nigeria and people that work with them, that is the narrative they forcefully sent out to the public. Nnamdi Kanu ran away when Nigerian government entered his house and murdered over 50 innocent Biafrans that have committed no crime. They were just in that house. Nnamdi Kanu has to run away for his dear life. Who will not run away for your dear life? But the Nigeria criminal state said that Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail when he escaped for his dear life. And these are the kind of lies that Tinubu, Christopher Musa, Soludo, Oti, Mba, Ozodinma, and the Nigeria delegitimized governors and their politicians. These are the kind of lies they spread everywhere they go. But thank God for social media and internet. The world have now realized that the Nigerian state is the real terrorist, is the real criminal state that must be collapsed for people to live. This is very, very serious. And those of you that think we are joking, you have no clue. Thousands of innocent Biafrans have been murdered by Tinubu, Christopher Musa, and the Nigerian state. And they still do it as we speak. They send their armored tanks to the private neighborhoods of the Biafra territory with their agents, with the one they call Ijele, Udele, or whatever. These are the agents of the Nigerian state. The Imapawafo, the Benjamin Madibugo, the China Sanworu, all these criminals work for the Nigeria delegitimized governors. They come into our communities to kill Biafrans. Nigeria state pays them to come into our communities to kill innocent Biafrans that are in their homes, in their bushes, in their lands, in their quiet communities. They use them. They pay them to distract and disrupt the full restoration of the United States of Biafra. But I tell them, this time around, we will use everything legally within our power to stop them. The Biafra people have spoken. They do not want to cohabit with a country that reintegrates and rehabilitates known terrorists and recruits them into their military and police. We do not want to be part of that system. That was why we exited Nigeria on November 29, 2024. No one, no nation, no individual should tamper with this right of the people. The Monday sit at home is a form of self-referendum. Again, I want to correct those who thinks that the Monday sit at home is about an individual. The Monday sit at home has nothing to do with Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. The Monday sit at home has nothing to do with the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. The Monday sit at home has nothing to do with my humble self, Dr. Orabueze. The Monday sit at home is the collective wish of the people, the 80 million Biafrans that wish to start rebuilding their own nation. The Monday sit at home is a referendum. For those of you that are trying to deceive some people about Monday sit at home, it is a form of referendum which has supported the Biafra people to reject the Nigerian state. So anyone, any individual trying to tell Biafrans to stop the Monday sit at home is an agent of the Nigerian state and will be treated as such, no matter who you are. It is a wish of the people. And the United States of Biafra government, now the representative of the 80 million indigenous people of Biafra, the indigenous people of Biafra, the 80 million indigenous people of Biafra is currently being represented by the United States of Biafra government, led by my humble self, Dr. Orabueze. The indigenous people of Biafra is not Indigenous People of Biafra Association or Indigenous People of Biafra Organization. The IPOB, the one led by Chinasa Nworu, Benjamin Madubugo, Emma Powerful, these criminals that are working with the Nigerian state. There is a difference between the indigenous people of Biafra, the 80 million of us, and the Indigenous People of Biafra Organization. So anyone that is interested in the lives of Biafra people, in helping us to build our new nation, which was declared on November 29, 2024 in Latin Finland, the only IPOB you must in capital be talking about is the IPOB under my humble self, Dr. Orabueze, which is the indigenous people of Biafra, who gathered in Finland to declare their independence, not the IPOB organization. I want everyone to be very, very clear on that. Do not be deceived. What those IPOB organizations are doing now is trying to make it look as if they are the ones that are IPOB people. No, they are not. The IPOB organization has been hijacked by the Nigerian DSS. Any information that comes out from IPOB association or IPOB organization is not only fraudulent, it is criminal, and it never ever represents the 80 million Biafran people. I want to use this opportunity also to thank our Prime Minister, His Excellency Obato Obie Anonkankanti. Thank you so much for what you do for Biafrans. You are the reason for the season. We remember you every day. Biafrans always send their love to you. Do not be moved. For that which you seek, we already got. Again, this past few days, Biafrans, we've witnessed some of these elements, criminal elements, planted here and there by the Nigerian state to disrupt what we are doing. But we're very, very happy that they are crumbling. Tinubu is crumbling. Nigerian state is crumbling. What about the mediocres that they hire here and there that are Biafrans? They're also crumbling. They are crying every day. Biafrans, do not be moved. These are a bunch of liars and deceits. They thrive. They thrive in lies and deceits. That's all they know how to do. That's all they know how to do. They come with different types of lies. But every now and then, we want to let them know that which they know, we know it. We just have to continue to be focused to build our wonderful nation. They are the least of our problems. They can go on the internet and write all nonsense they want to write. They can say that Dr. Orabueze is working for the Nigerian state, is a Fulani woman. Dr. Orabueze is like a Nigerian politician. She's showing her vehicles, she's showing her cars, blah, 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 blah. It is called public accountability. It's important that you now see those cars now, so that you will not say that it's because Dr. Orabueze is the president of the United States of Biafra. That is how she now acquire all these fleet of vehicles. So you better see it now. It is a requirement for the United States of Biafra government officials. Eventually, we will be doing that. We will be doing that. It's called public record, public accountability. So those of you that are jumping from one forum to the other to be begging Biafrans money, begging to have a position, begging to be Secretary of the United States of Biafra, what. So those of you that are begging, you also need to go and let Biafrans know your capacity, what you have. Not when we give you position, you are riding one Audi today or one Camry. Tomorrow you'll be fleeting around with hundreds of vehicles. It's called public accountability. So those of you that are seeing those in a bad light, I want you to go and show Biafrans your own, because you're seeking to get a job in the United States of Biafra government. Go and tell people, show them what you have. This is just one portion that some of you have seen, and you're all everywhere crying. Some of you are just almost hugging transformers. These are just cars. When we talk about the homes and all that in different places, I know that some of you will leave Biafra land and run away. So Biafrans, do not be moved by those receipts. Do not be moved by those lies. Those posts are made for a particular people. And thank God they started doing that, which we want them to do, which Biafrans want them to do. Do not believe anything that comes from these people. They are this bunch of liars and deceits and distractors. But we will continue to deal with them. I'm telling you. We will continue that. They ain't seen nothing yet. Just a bit of and they shake everywhere. They ain't seen nothing yet. That is why it's important to make sure we flush out mediocres from the United States of Biafra restoration leadership. The earlier we move them out, and then they'll start thinking of where they belong to, then that will help them in the way they talk, in the things they do. At least at their quiet moment, they go no say level past level. Whether they like it or not, we're not begging them. But when they come out to lie to Biafran people, to be misinforming Biafrans, to be saying things that are not true, just to hurt those, Obato just said it, they always go and attack those who are better than them, who are doing better work than them. That is exactly what they all do. That some of us have been quiet doesn't mean we don't know how to do. We don't know what to do. We don't know the buttons to press. But because we are more focused on building our new nation, on Biafra. That's why we ignore these riffraffs. And you will see them all over social media, making noise, talking, doing. But thank God, I believe after the little movie some of them have check you very, very well. They mean like that every now and then. They have nothing to offer except to derail this freedom which we already got, Biafrans. Do not give them a single space. They don't give them. The time has gone when people want to use the freedom and the restoration of Biafra as business as usual. You collect money from innocent Biafrans and use it to go and build your hotels in Biafra land and establish your businesses and travel abroad and be doing. No, the time has gone. You can't do that to any Biafrans. Every dime, every penny that enters into the United States of Biafra coffers is used in building our new nation. All of them crying is because nothing is entering their purse anymore. Their criminality has been blocked.
Busted
And blocked. That's why you see them crying. Some of them are looking like wretched of the earth. These are people that want to bring Biafra. These are people that are talking about Biafra restoration. You go doing it first. Biafra freedom. Many of them use Biafra freedom as businesses. Some of them are still using it now. That is why there will be no space for anyone because these are innocent blood. These are people's blood. Lives have been wasted in Biafra restoration. If you think you are coming into the United States of Biafra freedom, 80 million freedom process for Biafra, and you think you are coming here to collect money from people to go and be doing business, you need to look for another business. Zero space for you until we restore our nation, until we get our allies, until we start using and printing our agenda. Then we start paying people salaries that are due to the job they have. Like I said, an average Biafran, every little child of Biafran deserves a minimum of $50 a month on their private coffers. And I will make sure that happens because we have the natural resources to pull this wealth. We have the man-made resources. We have the human capacity to build these resources. But until we get there, you cannot use Biafran money. The donations by Biafrans to build our motherland, you cannot use that to do any business outside. That is why we have one of the best secretaries of finance in the whole world that cracks the numbers by the seconds, by the days, by the minutes. So if you think you are coming into Biafra to complete that hotel you are building in Biafra land or to start that business you are doing in Biafra land, you need to stop immediately. Unless I don't get you, unless I don't hear that, you must stop immediately. Because here we go, brother. And $1 contributed by Biafran is blood money, and we must use it to where it's needed, which is rebuilding our new nation, which has been damaged by the terrorist state of Nigeria, helping thousands of innocent Biafrans that are locked up in different jails across Nigeria and in Biafra land. And I'm using this opportunity to call on the Nigerian state and the delegitimized governors to release every single Biafran you are holding in captivity. Release them. Release them. Release them. Release them. We will defend them from you if you don't release them. We will defend them from your colonization and captivity, suppression and oppression. We will be the mouth for them. We will stand for them against you if you don't release them. Again, I want to pass a clear message from our leader to Biafrans. If you are genuinely fighting for Biafrans, leave your fellow Biafrans alone, especially those that are doing things better than you. They are not your problem. Confront the Nigerian state that are killing us. Confront the delegitimized governors that are taking away our innocent Biafrans, locking them up in jails across the land. Those should be your target. We have a clear target. We have our clear enemies, which is the Nigerian state that reintegrates non-terrorists into our land. We have the delegitimized governors that are bringing in these reintegrated terrorists, giving them land in Biafra territory to be killing our people every day. These are our clear enemies. So if you want, or if you are part of this restoration process, you must face those people. Leave your fellow Biafrans alone. Dr. Orabueze is not your problem. I'm here to solve problems. But those of you that think that Orabueze is your problem, you will be seeing Dr. Orabueze. So leave your fellow Biafrans alone. This is a specific instruction from our leader. Leave fellow Biafrans alone. Focus Focus on our common enemies. All of you listening to me, you all know our common enemies. You know what they do. You know how they kidnap our people. You know how they arrest our people. You know how they burn our homes. You know the things they do. You see some of them already parading the terrorist APC and PDP party in Biafra territory. APC and PDP, political party of the Nigerian state.